which I will, but it's just that came to me last night to restart that. So just give you a heads up. Thanks.
Sorry, I got out of the way.
Good morning. Good morning. Ooh, what a beautiful Sunday. A little overcast, a little cooler. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sunday morning. My name is Heather Kistner. I'm a member of the board and current congregational president here at TVUUC, Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. On behalf of the board and program council, it is my honor to welcome you here this morning. I am cisgender in my late 40s, wearing a denim dress. Whether you are here in the building or watching online, you are welcome here. I would like to give a special shout out to those that met Lynn Hickson yesterday at the Pride Festival in, I believe it was Jefferson County. If you're watching, thank you for watching and thanks for joining Lynn at the table yesterday. Whoever you are and wherever you are from, wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome. All of you are sacred, and all of you are welcome. If you'd like more information on our church, please fill out the visitor card that should be in front of you. Or you can visit our website at tvuuc.org and select Stay in Touch. If you are visiting us with small children, we invite you to sit up front. We have a couple of littles this morning where it's easier for your little ones to see what's going on. Please don't feel that you need to keep them quiet. We welcome all of the wiggles and giggles. We have a couple of announcements this morning. We are proudly a host of Family Promise. It begins June 15th, and we would love it if you would consider volunteering. There are many opportunities to give a little or a lot of your time. We have a Family Promise volunteer table out in the hallway with Robert and Debbie Hyde, who is taking care of Family Promise needs with their time and dedication to that program. Again, if you could volunteer, they are in need of some volunteers. You'll also find further information about that in your order of service on how you can help. The second announcement that I have is South Knox Pride. What you doing on June 21st? Let's come on out to South Knox Pride. TVUUC will be represented, and Lynn Hickson is requesting your help to make that happen. We do need a couple of folks to come and sit at that table and be representative of our community and our church here in Knoxville. This is a Generosity Sunday. And to tell you a little bit more about what that means and how to give, here is Claudia Presley.
Thank you, Heather. As, excuse me. As Heather said, my name is Claudia Presley. I'm the Director of Finance and Operations here, and today is a Generosity Offering Sunday. What that means is that 100% of any contribution that you make today goes to our general operating fund unless it is designated as a pledge. The ways you can give are listed in your order of service. You can also text give to the number 73256. If you're watching online, there should be a bar or button that says Give Now. And if you're really into like scanning QR codes or something, there's a couple of signs that are at the back of our sanctuary that have QR codes on them. Also, the original way that we took offerings is by passing a basket, and that will happen during the offertory in the middle of this service. So thanks so much for being here. Have a wonderful day, and join us at our congregational meeting this afternoon.
Thank you, Claudia. So yes, today is a big day. We do have our congregational meeting today from 12:30 to 2:30 here in the sanctuary. We do ask that after today's service, that if you are helping with the setup, by all means, please stay. But if you are not helping, we do ask that you step out of the sanctuary for about 5 to 10 minutes and let us get organized. And then, as many of you may know, then we'll have you check in, and we'll help with that process and give reminders along the way. If you are visiting and would like a tour, please let us know after the service. I'm sure that one of us will be happy to show you around, albeit it will be pretty busy after the service. We welcome you to our planned chaos. Before we begin to the service, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our guest speaker. We have Helen H.P. Rivers. She is a candidate for the UU ministry. She graduated Star King School for the ministry. She is owner of blessedbehp.com, a UU gift shop. She is a mom, a Swiftie, a craft enthusiast, and a Knoxville native. Please welcome H.P. Rivers.
Good morning. I'm short. Hi, y'all. My name is Helen, or H.P. Rivers. I'm gonna stop touching it. Better? Okay. My name is Helen, or H.P. Rivers. My pronouns are they, she, or anything offered with love, and I'm so thrilled to be here with y'all today. For our opening words, I have a poem from my book, Something Resembling God, and this is called Dying. In the tarot, the death card rarely means death. It means nothing gold can stay. It means letting go, being scared, and daring greatly anyway is the only way we truly live. Oh, and now we have our chalice lighting song. Well, okay. Prelude, thank you. Y'all have a lot of steps in your order of service.
Yeah, bring the chime, too.
Where's the chime?
Can you give us a B flat now that we've heard the chime?
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it. All this strength that I have, this strength that I have.
do our chalice lighting song. Right? Affirmation. The words are in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our great covenant. Our first hymn is number 112 in the gray hymnal, Do You Hear? And you're invited to remain standing as you are willing and able.
Good morning again. My name is Carolyn Rogers, and I'm here with you today as part of the spiritual care team. As we continue our striving to serve a diverse group, I will introduce myself. Most of the time, I use she, her pronouns, but lately I've pondered the fact that there is that of the masculine and feminine in each of us. So I am standing here about 5'7". My hair was very long and dark back in the 70s, but now in my mid-70s, it's getting naturally streaked. I am wearing a scarf of rainbow colors draped around my shoulders. The spiritual care team is available to you in many ways, open into sharing your joys or listening to your concerns, paying attention to your stories, and meeting with you via phone or face-to-face. You can reach us via the pastoral care phone number, which is listed in the order of service and online. So even though it is the second Sunday, we will not be sharing listening booths today due to the congregational meeting that's right after the service. So this story begins with a concern, a deep concern, and finishes with great joy. So if you've been following Trish Adams' Facebook posts about Chance, you'll know that Captain Chance contracted MRSA during his surgery on Monday. And that he was diagnosed with sepsis in the ER on Thursday. He was in ICU and his blood pressure stabilized. So as of now, he is in a regular room on a high dose of antibiotics and doing much better. So, yes. So after this harrowing week, they're hoping that he'll go home tomorrow. I love what Trish said yesterday, I guess it was. Just know through it all, Captain Chance is brave and tougher than humanly possible. At that point, he was sleeping more than awake. But when he was awake, she says, I love this, he's eating his favorite foods, playing board games, laughing, and expecting friends to visit him. She calls him our sweet warrior, who will please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Go Chance. God. Yeah. So Alan Morgan was still in UT Medical Center as of yesterday. He was recovering from a stroke a week ago. His wife, Froni Ward, reports that he is progressing, and he'll soon move to Knoxville Rehab Hospital on Middlebrook Pike, and visitors will be welcome there. And FYI, don't confuse this with West Hills Rehab, which is nearby. This is Knoxville Rehab Hospital on Middlebrook Pike. Greer Novinger shares two concerns. Her son is recovering from a severe infection in his hip that necessitated removing his artificial hip until the infection could be eliminated. Then Greer's brother died recently of a drug overdose. She's grieving not only his loss, but also the loss of the relationship of many years. In the midst of all this sadness, though, she and her nephew, her brother's son, were able to establish a connection that was deeply meaningful to both of them. Also, this week, Gail Anderson will undergo an MRI in hopes of finding out exactly what's going on with her back, which has been causing her a great deal of pain. Otherwise, she says she is comfortable at home and getting support from her family. We also have a concern from Marianne Woodside. Her daughter, Donna Lee, had to have, I think it was 4 vertebrae removed and some other implant to protect that. So she will have a long and painful recovery ahead of her. Steve and Carol Krause have moved to Sherrill Hills Retirement Resort. I love the resort part of that, which is in the Cedar Springs area of West Knoxville. They feel like they're getting some extra support that they need and that they need for right now, and comfort. If you're not staying for the congregational meeting, you might want to go to their home on Forest Village, just off of Westland, before 2 today, where Tina McMillan is providing a living estate sale. She envisions their belongings being intentionally and lovingly shared into new homes, especially some of Steve's beautiful artwork and supplies, along with furniture and many other useful items. Now, last Sunday's Pride Interfaith Gathering was a joyful event, along with challenging speakers who challenged us, and great music by the Appalachian Equality Chorus. Thanks to all who made the first Sunday lunch, sponsored by TVUUC's LGBTQ welcoming team, such a success. Be sure to see the list of Pride events. Heather referred to some of those. They're listed in the newsletter. Another joy you might anticipate this week is Maybe Jackson's offering of a sound bath this Thursday at 6 in the Alandria Williams room. So, we end with a sweet joy, which we celebrate with Carolyn and Ed Mahundro. I think they must have been about 5 years old when they got married, because tomorrow they will celebrate their 64th wedding anniversary. And finally, blessings on the upcoming congregational meeting, with gratitude for all the work that all of these lay leaders have given over the past fiscal year. Yeah. So join me in lifting up those we have named: Chance, Alan, Greer and her son, Gail, Steve and Carol, Marianne and her daughter Donna, and, of course, Carolyn and Ed, along with others. Those who are weary with health concerns and care for loved ones, making big changes in their lives, grateful for support. Those who are traveling or who are afraid in these times, but celebrating special days. And others unknown to us or held in privacy. Let us sing and send them light.
Good morning. My name is Elnora Williams, and I will share with you a poem by Langston Hughes in the celebration of Juneteenth. The title of the poem is I Too Sing America. I am the darker brother they send me to eat in the kitchen. When company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. Our next song is Lift Up Your Voice. You may remain seated, and I believe it's in your order of service. Thank you.
So I will start by singing the ostinato, which is marked in your part as the third line down. That repeats all throughout. If you want to sing with me, go ahead. If you want to sing the melody part, then wait for cadence to cue you and join in, and the rest of the group joins in. Lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up your voice. Lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up your voice.
Lift up your voice.
Lift up your voice.
Shout and cry for joy. Shout and cry for joy. We will work for liberty and justice. We will work for liberty and justice. Never quit or cry surrender. Never quit or cry surrender. Shout, shout for joy. Shout for joy. We will work for liberty and justice. We will work for liberty and justice. Shout, we'll shout for joy. Shout, we'll shout for joy. Lift up your voice. Lift up your voice. Shout and cry for joy. Shout and cry for joy. We will shout for joy and courage. We will shout for joy and courage. Never quit or cry surrender. Never quit or cry surrender. Shout, we'll shout for joy. Shout, we'll shout for joy. We will shout for joy and courage. Shout, we'll shout for joy. Shout, we'll shout for joy. Lift up your voice. Shout and cry for joy. Lift up your voice. Shout and cry for joy.
This is called Morning Prayer 3. We'll have prayer followed by silent meditation and then our offertory. God. Oh, sorry, can y'all hear me? I'm gonna warn you right now. I'm gonna say the G word. You take that however you want to and interpret it however you want to, okay? God, I am tired. The days grow shorter and colder, but God, they are still so long and so full. The hungry ghosts who live in the space between tasks never stop wailing. They are never satisfied. God, let me be satisfied. Let me feel confident that I am enough, my efforts are enough, and grace resides in the space between breaths. May I remember to allow the lullaby of grace to eclipse the wailing of hungry ghosts. Blessed be. We'll move into a time of silent meditation.
Our next song is Join Resistance by the Resistance Revival Chorus.
I can take a video because I'm doing a social media-based internship, which means that I make TikToks and it's ministry. It's pretty cool. So I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I started out as a camp counselor, as if the tinsel in the hair and the rainbows and the friendship bracelets doesn't give it away. And I was actually telling my son just the other day that I learned how to preach by watching the camp director at the camp I used to work for. Now, every Friday morning and afternoon for the last 20 years or so, this man has gotten up in front of the whole camp to tell a story about the characters who live there. And it's magical. And it was amazing to me as a 16-year-old camp counselor learning how to tell stories and how to speak to a room full of people. When I was 16, I would have crumbled in anxiety in this moment. You wouldn't have gotten me up to this pulpit. And it's really extra special to see my kid experience that for the first time. And now I'm pretty sure that process of writing a camp story for closing program every week goes a lot like the process of writing a sermon. I'm pretty sure there's probably an intention of getting it done sometime on Monday or Tuesday, early in the week, way before anything else can happen, right? And then there's probably some sort of distraction, and then probably some pivots have to be made when there's a current event or time constraint or logistics, right? And sometimes we have to pivot at the last minute. And sometimes, because we know we might have to pivot, we procrastinate until Saturday writing our sermon. Something I really admire about this camp director I used to work with is that he serves the kids he works with incredibly well. And he speaks to them in a way that's very reminiscent of what's called Fred-ish, which is the very intentional and methodological way that Fred Rogers spoke to children and the way he taught others to speak to children. And I've now worked with kids for over 16 years, and Fred Rogers' rules for communicating with children have become a really important foundational piece of my ministry. My first job in the church was as a religious educator, and I started as a religious educator at the UU Church in Tallahassee 6 months before COVID. So suddenly, 6 months into this position, I was the person who had to explain to these children and families what was going to happen with church while the world was shut down. And I found during that time something that really delighted me, but I didn't find surprising at all. Children love stories, I knew that. What I didn't expect was that adults love them just as much, and love being read to, and love being told stories just as much as children. And sometimes we need it just as much or even more than the children in our lives. So, with that in mind, I'm going to tell y'all a story today. And I want you to just settle in and listen. Take it as it comes. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But if something in this challenges you, if something upsets you, if something stirs you or feels like a call to action, I want you to come talk to me after. Let's chat. I'm going to hang out for a little bit after. And actually, I have an assistant who's going to help me. Let me find them. This is Jet Pig. Does anybody, Chloe, you're wearing your Jet Pig shirt today. Do you want to show people? This is actually one of my designs. This is a Jet Pig shirt. Jet Pig stands for our Unitarian Universalist values: justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. See how much easier that is to say than all of the old principles that are like in super academic speak? So this is Jet Pig, and Jet Pig's gonna help me tell this story by playing the little voice in my head that doesn't want to do hard things sometimes. So, a few weeks ago, I'm sitting on my back porch. It is 9 o'clock at night. My kid is in bed. It's quiet, I'm relaxing, and I look down at my phone and I see I have a missed call. Now that was the first red flag. Because I don't know if you know what happens to pastors when they notice that they have a missed call at 9 o'clock at night. My immediate thought was, oh snap. And then I saw that this call was from Miss Elnora. And I thought, oh snap, it's 9 o'clock at night, Miss Elnora is calling me, and Reverend Chris is on vacation, or is on sabbatical. Somebody probably died. And I said, oh snap, okay, I've got this. And so Miss Elnora says, hey, can you preach on June 8th? And I say, oh my gosh, thank goodness. Yes, I can preach. Yes, Miss Elnora, you can have anything you want. What would you like me to preach about? And she said, without, I don't think she took a breath, she said, Juneteenth. And I said, yes, ma'am. And then I got off the phone with her, and Jet Pig gets in my ear and says, aren't you a little pasty looking to be talking about Juneteenth? And I said, Jet Pig, I get that, but actually, it's my responsibility as a white minister to be talking about Juneteenth. When we have privilege, it's important to use it for the common good as much as we can. So, as per usual, I started big, all right? This sermon was about to be like a 30-page worship script. We were gonna do a ritual, we were gonna talk about the liberating power of joy and why selfies of joyful black young women smiling in front of a burning plantation is awesome. But wait, what even is Juneteenth? Is anybody unfamiliar with Juneteenth? It's totally okay if you are. So Juneteenth is the celebration of the enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation for the last enslaved community in Galveston, Texas. This came 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, right? So it was 2.5 years between this time where these folks were technically free, right, on paper, and between then and when they actually were able to be liberated from their enslavement. So I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, right? I've been rumbling with this sermon for weeks because I want to talk about the liberating power of black joy. And I want to talk about why white people are scared of it and why it makes some of us uncomfortable. But I keep getting distracted. I keep getting distracted because I've been watching the Madeleine, a humanitarian aid ship heading for Gaza with activists, including the youth activist Greta Thunberg, on board. And I've been watching, even this morning, I got a notification about 20 minutes ago. They're still out there, you know, as Bissan from Gaza says, they're still alive. But they expect to be attacked. Their communications are being tampered with, and they expect this to be scary. So I'm watching that, and I keep getting distracted, and I keep wondering. There's been a so-called ceasefire for over 2 months now, right? Did anybody tell Israel? Did anybody tell Israel? I saw a post a little later that said correctly identifying a genocide 10 years after it happens is useless. And then I still didn't know what I was going to talk about this morning, and then I looked up in the sky, and there was a cloud in the shape of a spine, and God said to me, have a spine. We're going to talk about Israel today. HP, you can't say that. You can't talk bad about Israel. Why not? Because it's anti-Semitic. What's your understanding of anti-Semitism, Jetpig? Being anti-Jewish and pro-harming Jewish people, right? Right. Is Israel a Jewish person? Well, no, it's a Jewish nation. Oh, the same way that the United States is a Christian nation. Well, no, it's not, is it? Well, no, the United States is not a Christian nation. But people like to say that because there are a lot of Christians who live here and a lot of Christian nationalists in our leadership right now. Oh, okay. So, would we consider the current actions of the United States government in general to be Christ-like as a nation? In line with Christian values? Jetpig's not sure. So then, would we consider the actions, so then knowing the historical context that our historical Christ was a Jewish man and rabbi, same question. Would you consider the actions of Israel in general to be Christ-like? in line with Jewish values. He learned those values somewhere, right? This conflation of state with spirit is intentional. This is meant to immobilize intellectual discourse about this topic by playing to insecurities about being perceived as the bad guy. We can't talk about Israel's current crimes against humanity because then people might think we're not woke. And I don't know if you know this, but the most important thing to white activists is being the good guy and being the most woke. That was a joke. We better just sit down, shut up, and let the people who know more about it make the decisions, right? But I gotta tell you, I had a rare and important opportunity to be in the ear of one of those people who knows more about it, one of those people who knows better and who has a platform. Y'all, I have a friend who is a female rabbi, and she and I have talked at length about this. And at one point, a couple years ago, she said, you're right, I'm gonna bring some of this into my sermon. And she was told to never give a sermon like that again or she would lose her job. The grief and the trauma at play in this situation are so massive, they transcend generations. This is not an easy thing for anyone involved. I wonder if we are scared or wary of Black joy, so uncomfortable to see joyful Black women smiling in front of a burning plantation, because Black joy is a direct mirror to the depths of Black suffering. And we are scared to speak out against the suffering of our neighbors in Palestine because we can't stomach the thought of actually acknowledging it. We don't want to acknowledge that this country we live in now was built the exact same way, with children starved and dismembered and survivors displaced and traumatized, so wealthy white man could steal and profit from their land. We can't talk about joy without talking about trauma and suffering because one does not exist without the other. Has anyone ever thought that heaven would be like so boring after a while? I remember thinking that when I was a kid, like eventually I would read all the books and eventually I would watch all the movies and experience every joyful, wonderful thing that had ever existed. And I was like, that is gonna be so boring in 100 million years. And I had existential panic about that as an 8-year-old, but it feels like eventually the shine might wear off of endless luxury, endless perfection with nothing to compare it to. Echo chambers are dangerous places. They make it easy to forget where our privilege insulates us from discomfort. Too easy to become desensitized to suffering that seems too far away. But what about joy? You're supposed to talk about joy, right? Well, the ceasefire was still celebrated, even though it ended. They still celebrated at the end of the very first Star Wars movie when they won that first battle, because celebrating the wins is important. Juneteenth is still a joyful, important holiday because it acknowledges the reality, the real pain of justice delayed. How strange it must have been to learn what freedom meant in that context. How confusing to be called free, only to learn that freedom is a faint whisper of actual liberation. How strange for this youth activist we couldn't stop talking about 6 years ago to fall from the spotlight and from the news when she started advocating for Palestine. How strange has it been to refresh our news feeds, waiting to learn if Bassan is still alive or if Israeli drones have eliminated the threat of a humanitarian aid ship attempting to deliver food to intentionally starved children in this, the year of someone's Lord 2025. How strange to wonder if it will even make the news either way, if Greta and the crew of the Madeleine successfully complete their mission, or if they meet their deaths at sea. I won't pretend it's not scary, y'all. I won't pretend as if we live in a time where it's not possible, maybe even expected, to face backlash for speaking out about what is right. I don't pretend that I'm not expecting at least one email from someone completely disagreeing with me today. And that's okay. We can have those conversations safely and in covenant with one another. But I won't pretend that this isn't the real deal, y'all. I won't pretend that this morning we didn't wake up to news that the fascists in the White House ordered National Guard troops to attack protesters in Los Angeles. Over the past few weeks, children's entertainer Miss Rachel, who knows Miss Rachel? I love Miss Rachel. I was Miss Rachel for Halloween. I almost wore my pink headbands, but it didn't go with the purple. But Miss Rachel's a children's entertainer who's been advocating for the children of Palestine for over a year now, and she said this past week she's okay with being canceled for her stance. Those of us with the privilege to withstand it need to be willing to be canceled for our stances. I won't pretend that I know all the answers or that I can tell you the right way to advocate or to engage with this, because everyone's discernment about what actions they can take is unique. During Black Lives Matter, I was the mother of a toddler, single mother of a toddler. It would not have been helpful for me to be out on the streets protesting, so I worked with other parents, and I found other ways to show up. This last year during demonstrations down at UT, I didn't feel safe taking my son, so we waited until there was a car caravan that we could participate in, and then we did that, and we held our keffiyehs out the window, and it was great. Here's the deal, y'all. I don't imagine that for 2.5 years in Galveston, Texas, there wasn't at least one person who thought about saying something sooner. I don't believe that there wasn't just one person somewhere who thought, man, these people don't know what I know, and if I told them, it would change their lives. And for whatever reason, they chose not to make that choice. And it might have been for their own safety, it might have been for their survival. I know not all of us have the privilege of safety to be loud and proud and adamant about our roles as advocates in our communities. I know some of us are barely hanging on and trying to stay safe ourselves. I know many of us are tired. That's where the joy comes in. That's where we have an absolute moral obligation to choose joy when it is presented as an option or can be stolen, even at a cost. Every moment of joy in these times is a radical act of resistance, and we need that now more than ever. I saw one more post this morning that really drove this one home. It said, "I still hear the old voice in my head, but I refuse to allow it to speak to my children. I still hear my anxieties, my doubts. I still hear that little voice in my head that says, girl, not a girl, you are too pasty to be up there talking about Juneteenth. You are too privileged to be up there talking about Palestine. Don't you know that they would destroy you in Palestine for being gay? Y'all, I'm not worried about if there's a pride parade in Palestine. I am worried about if Palestine still exists. I still hear my anxieties, I still hear my doubts and my worries for my own safety and for that of my community. But I refuse to let them run the show. I choose joy, and I choose to be a part of a people so bold as to show up and choose joy too, to ask the hard questions, to have the hard conversations, and to be brave and courageous enough to speak up when it's difficult or when it's risky. May we all choose to be a people so bold. May we be willing to risk being canceled. May we be willing to risk being comfortable in support of what is right. Blessed be.
rise in body or spirit as you may to sing Let It Be a Dance, number 311 in the gray hymnal. Number 311.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you. Through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words. Tell the story with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the beat. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you. Through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And like a little wind blow in. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you. Through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. With nothing wrong and nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
All right, prophetic church, the world awaits your liberating ministry. Go forward in the power of love, proclaim the truth that sets us free. And as a final act of worship, I invite you to turn and greet your neighbors. Good morning, how are you?
Thank you. I'm very comfy.
And you sing good too. Okay.
Thank you.